wise men at their end, no dark is right, because their words had formed no lightning Do not go gentle into that good night.
In the still of the night, when it's quiet, we dance the skies. Run, 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 and run, yeah, we dance the night. Run, 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 and run, yeah, we dance the night in the sky. In the still of the night, when it's quiet, we dance the skies. Run, 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 and run, yeah, we dance the night. Run, 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 and run, yeah, we dance the night in the sky.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are all doing well. First things first, let me know how the audio is. Always got to check before we get started. Good morning, everyone. I love to see all the returning names every week, man. Super cool. Hope you guys are doing well. Can we get some hype in the chat for 44K? Last week when we did the stream, things went nuts, especially like ETH. That was the real hype. We're all waiting on the ETH breakout. Rest in peace to the 2150 equal high perma bears that are looking for swing high or range high shorts, man. We were saying for a while when we finally got the breakout here, it would just be a god candle. You're not going to get an SFP. You're not getting a weak reaction. You're getting a big move out of this consolidation. We finally got that, dude. I'm so hyped. And what was crazier is like the day after the stream, it was Sunday, like Bitcoin just completely gap filled this entire Luna comp. This is like the consolidation that we were in during Luna. And a lot of people thought that this was just going to end up being a lot of chop or we distribute in here. But we just went from value area low to value area high instantly, like butter. And I don't think many people were expecting that. I know some people that trade, off volume profiles and stuff were expecting something like that, but I certainly wasn't expecting it to be that easy. So man, that is hype. And I just, I wanted to start off the stream today just reflecting on this journey. Like, I don't know if you guys expected to be at 44K in December of 2023. I don't know if you guys expected to be at 44K even a few months ago. I certainly didn't. I can't believe that we were opening longs at 32K in October. Blows my mind, dude. Blows my mind. Let's see who's in here. Good morning, Richard. Always count on you to be here, man. First guy in. I love that. Let's see if there's any new names in here. Joe Epp. What's up, brother? Parth. What's up, man? What's up, Jedi? Empire. Andrew. Simon. Imok. Hurry up, Goofy. Sorry, brother. We start off the stream with some jams, man. We keep it nice, light, and breezy. It's a Saturday morning for most of us. At least if you're in America, it's a Saturday morning, dude. I like to keep it chill. It's even in the stream title, man. Charts and chill. What's up, new bro? What's up, boys? What's up, boys? It's getting to be a lot of people now. When I give shout outs, I feel like I'm just saying like 50 names. Sorry if I don't call you guys all out. What's up, Zed? New bro. What's up, everyone? What's up, Jags? What's up, Tommy? All right, guys, let's get it started. As always, I just want to cover some thoughts on the market. One thing I wanted to talk about today is, are we frothy yet? The funding rates are absolutely insane as of right now, and I want to give like a little bit of thoughts on how I use funding to my advantage or disadvantage. How I use it effectively, basically. And it might differ for every single person, but basically, funding to me, let's get into it. Funding for me doesn't matter as long as there's momentum. As long as there's momentum in the coin that you're trading with extreme funding, who cares, right? We all know kind of like if a coin's going up, right, and funding is negative, that's basically being like people are just shorting every step of the way, right? The perp price is lagging way behind the spot price because people are just giga short, right? And that helps fuel squeezes, and that actually further incentivizes people to long because they're getting paid because they're getting paid funding and the coin's going up, right? So it's a real strong incentive to long. Now, when coins are going up like this and funding is positive, basically meaning that you're paying to long, that's pretty normal and healthy in a strong uptrend. What concerns me is when coins start to lose momentum, right? When they start bracketing and ranging and people are kind of just hyper aggressively longing these coins and not really seeing any follow through. That is a sign of froth to me. And when I look across the market, I go, okay, it makes sense for this coin or that coin to have extremely positive funding, because there's a lot of momentum. Basically, trade. You're in the trade that everyone's in. Everyone knows this coin's going higher. It's trending really high, like AVAX yesterday, or Solana, or even INJ, like these coins that are popping off this weekend. Paying to be in these coins makes a lot of sense. But then you see, Sui is doing really well. But then you see coins that are kind of doing nothing. They're kind of just trading sideways. They're not really doing much, and they have positive funding, which means people are kind of just like throwing money across the market. They're just throwing money at laggards. They're just throwing money at everything because they're like, oh, everything's going up, my coin will go up as well, right? So everyone is basically just at the market opening positions, and not really seeing a bid there. Like, their coins aren't doing much. They're just kind of trading flat. They're kind of trading sideways, yet you're paying this extreme funding, which means there's a lot of greed, a lot of froth, and a lot of demand of like, well, my coin will go up eventually. I might as well just be long. I don't want to miss this, right? So I think it's prudent to separate the two when it comes to funding discussions. It doesn't always mean, oh, funding is, extremely frothy, I need to close all my positions. But definitely, if the market is kind of range bound and doing nothing, and everyone's kind of just hyper longing to speculate on some sudden miracle candle that'll, pump their bags, I think that is when you can get a little bit frothy and a little bit, take your foot off the gas, which is kind of what I'm seeing this morning. We were kind of expecting this crazy altcoin weekend like we got last weekend. In November, actually, let's start over. In October, we got multiple weekends in a row where we had super nice weekend moves, right? The weekends were really lit. During the weekdays, we would get these flushes. Like I was tweeting a lot during that time. Thursday flushes, bid Thursday pukes right into the weekend, bid Thursday, sell Tuesday. That really played out well a lot during this kind of consolidation phase, and kind of the uptrending, basically the upwards accumulation on Bitcoin, right? This played out super well. All these kind of pukes were like Thursday, Tuesdays, and you'd ride it into the weekend. That kind of stopped happening more and more. As soon as people got onto the meta, the weekend pumps got weaker and weaker until eventually, we had like a very muted volatility weekend just recently at the end of November. And then last weekend, we popped off, right? So I think what you're seeing funding wise today is everyone just sort of expecting a repeat of last weekend. And there were signs of that. Friday night, we got AVAX going crazy. We got Solana going crazy and breaking out. We got INJ and Link breaking out. Like, basically the market leaders are leading and everyone's kind of like, okay, let me just bid my shitcoin and it'll pump. So just want to explain my take on where funding is. It's good to keep an eye on that, but it's basically when momentum stops that you want to be kind of take your foot off the gas. It's the same thing in reverse. Like when we get these big market pukes and, Bitcoin's just consolidating right here, except, funding is extremely negative. Bears are paying a lot to do nothing, right? And that's when it could be that you get those short squeezes, like just an event-based squeeze. Remember, this one was just a nonsense. I don't even remember what the headline was. I think it was like Grayscale applies for, ETF conversion. I think that was the headline this day. And you look how hard we squeezed is because everyone is just sitting in shorts expecting lower, not really getting the follow through that they want. So they just have open positions and they're forced to close. And these are the squeezes that you get. So that's just one of the things we should look at as far as Bitcoin goes. I'm not saying we're going to get a random puke. I'm just saying to keep that in the back of your mind. That's one thing that I wanted to cover at the top of the stream. And the second thing that I wanted to make sure people are aware of, and I speak for myself here, actually. I'm just speaking for myself here, is I get this tendency sometimes in the markets where despite the money that I'm making, despite coins going up, despite all the numbers being green, of this immense sense of greed of like, well, X person made X amount of money more than me today. Oh, they caught this move. Oh, someone got the Jito airdrop. Someone caught the long on AVAX from like 25 to 30. They're making so much money. Oh, I didn't make anything. Oh, I'm in underperforming bags. And what we do to compensate is we up our sizing and we up our leverage. We're just like, well, we got to make it back. We're falling behind. We need to turn it up on turbo drive. We need to up the leverage. We need to up the sizing, right? And you're doing this for no reason other than your own like emotional, like lack of emotional control. take a step back and see what the market has given us over the past 6 weeks, past 8 weeks, right? We have been granted an up-only market where you've been rewarded for buying every dip, where you can buy on leverage, where you can speculate on all the bags across the market, like coins that we don't care about anymore. Like Cardano is getting pumps, right? I think Cardano did like a 3x or something. Like it went absolutely insane. What else? Jewel. I don't know if I can pull up Jewel on here. I probably can't. Oh, Jewel's on MEXC? No way. I don't know when that happened, but wow. Jewel's on MEXC. Okay, but like Jewel, a bag that was a complete meme, did pretty much a 10x in the past couple of days. So like everything out the ass is pumping. So I think now's the time for myself and other people to practice a little gratitude and be thankful for the market that we're handed after such a bad and like, I wouldn't say, well, bad 2022, but more or less a choppy 2023. I think people wanted their alts to do a little bit better, and there's been a lot of underperformers, you know, like stuff like AVAX, which is pretty good chain, but hasn't had a great year up until basically recently, right? This is more or less just bleed down, right? Get a bear market rally. This is the merge rally. This is the opening year rally, right? And just kind of been anemic and pathetic the rest of the year. So it's nice to see AVAX getting some love. And coins that, you know, everyone wants getting some love. And I'm looking at Total 3 recently, and I'm saying like, this is how I'm coining this current market rally is sort of the great redeployment. I feel like this rally here is everyone being like, well, okay, I'm behind. Bitcoin's mooning. Bitcoin broke 30K. And we can kind of time this and see like when that happened. But basically the minute Bitcoin broke 30K, everyone's like, I need to get deployed. And I think that was like October 16th or 23rd, right? We were sitting around range low on Total 3. Altcoins weren't doing much. The minute that Bitcoin broke out, right, on this candle, the 16th and 23rd of October, that was really the moment where everyone was like, I need exposure to the market. And I think the majority of this rally that you're seeing is kind of like the great redeployment. It's everyone that was in crypto, that was stabled up, that had a bunch of cash on the side, is kind of putting that back into the market. And I'd like to share, I know this is going to be like kind of extrapolating a lot, but if you give me 1 minute, should have had this ready. One second, first. Okay, I'm not sure why I'm not finding all three. There it is. Okay, here we go. Screenshot this and put it on. So I know I'm going to be extrapolating a lot from this, and this is a very small sample size. People will be, you know, upset that, you know, there's not too many votes. There should be more people in this and whatnot. But I'm just taking a very, very simple approach here and asking people like, what is your percentage of stable deployment, right? And I asked, you know, early November, I asked mid-November or late November, I asked yesterday. And you guys can see kind of the skew of people getting more and more deployed. People who were in, you know, in the most stabled up cohort are moving down the risk curve, right? People who are kind of all in are going even more all in. Or like all this stable money is just getting more and more deployed into the market. I know, like I said, very small sample size. Here I got 500, here I got 1,000, here I got 2,000. Depends on how many people retweet. I think, you know, Smalting, Inverse retweeted last night, which is why I got the most votes. But nonetheless, it's kind of going to show you that what this market is, in my opinion, is a lot of TradFi bidding the ETF narrative, which is why we have like the CME premium and everything like that. And then everyone else getting re-exposure to their alts. I don't believe yet that, you know, retail meaning like those of us not on CT, those of us not in the loop every day, those of us that didn't stay active throughout the entire bear market. I don't believe those people are back in the markets yet. I still believe that time is coming. And I think we were granted with a monster rally. And we should be thankful for it. So I just wanted to start off the stream by saying those kind of stuff and kind of just giving my thoughts on Bitcoin and just being super happy and grateful where we are. And I'm not going to make any attempts on calling tops. I think we all are on the same page here of like when the ETF approval candle, ETF approval comes, you should get a pump off of that. That should be sell the news. That's kind of like, you know, we've kind of priced in the success of that move here with the whole 90% odds of approval that, you know, everyone's kind of pricing in. There will kind of be nothing left to do for TradFi and everyone else other than take profits and kind of wrap up the trade. So I think we are kind of in the final innings of this rally. And you know, just to say it one last time, don't go overboard on leverage here, being like, well, I'm underperforming, I need to up the risk and up the leverage. All right, let's catch up with chat real quick. You guys have any questions, leave them in. I don't have too much to talk about as far as like the macro picture. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on some of the coins that I'm looking at, these ones in the pink here, setups that I like on them going forward. We'll talk about BONK because you know, spoiler to get ahead of myself, I don't think this is Pico topped yet. I think this can get retraced. And I'm kind of taking the Ordi blueprint here of like the big Ordi puke, just kind of Dalai Lama back into the highs, but it did take some time to come. So I'm thinking that, you know, BONK may have one more rally left in it. We covered the stablecoin deployment. I'll talk about the Dogecoin trade, which I think is a really good trade in the market right now. One of the last coins in the market that has a true narrative that can kind of go crazy in the last innings of this rally. I do want to talk about ETHBTC and if there's going to be an ETH catch-up play or ETH rotation play back towards these highs. Am I on the right? No, I'm not. Okay, over here. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Here's this one. I do believe that there's going to be like an ETH catch-up trade still. It's hard for me to be bearish on this one. I know Bitcoin's sitting at resistance, and it's very tempting to be like, well, you know, this is it. This is the top. You know, wherever you want to draw your line. I had it like up here at like around 44, 45, right? But I think, you know, if this can just consolidate, maybe we get that ETH candle, right? And that that ETF candle, and that ETF candle retraces, you'll probably get Ethereum in the catch-up play. Like maybe this pulls back, right? You might get a like a Darth Vader, or what do you call it, Darth Maul candle, where you pump on the approval, you retrace the entire thing, you liquidate everyone that longed that news, this consolidates, and then maybe in January you get the ETH continuation while Bitcoin does maybe something like this. You know, we're chopping, we get the approval candle, we SFP, we do something like this, like we're chopping around, maybe we're putting in lower highs like that. And I think this moment is the moment where you finally get Ethereum into its equivalent area around like 26, 27, 28, right around that region. It all depends. I think, you know, I'm pretty I'm pretty patient on this trade. Like I have no rush to see that happen. I'd really like this to happen like tomorrow. And if it did, I would definitely be taking profits on all the ETH and ETH beta names that I'm in, because that would be my thesis come to completion, come to fruition, come to completion, whatever, however you may say it. And I think this gap kind of finishes. I have this marked from, oh, I don't. Oh, that's kind of embarrassing. Oh, maybe that. There you go. So this is the fake news CoinGraph intern candle, right? And that's kind of the pullback after the fake news candle. If you line both of those up right here, this is kind of ETH's comparison to Bitcoin. It's only lagging by 6-7%. I think that 6-7% gets caught up really quick. And I think ETHBTC probably, let's go to a different chart. I think ETHBTC finally makes a move probably into 60. I'm losing myself here, boys. I'm sorry. Something like this, right? Maybe another pull down, and I think we finally accomplished, probably take out this high, and this will be kind of like the top of ETH and everything like that. So that's kind of my thesis and where I stand. If you guys have any questions on that, feel free to leave them in chat, and I'll answer them. The most telling thing from these polls is your impressions and votes are going parabolic. Yeah, I think it's because Inverse Bra tweeted or retweeted it last night. He has like 250,000 followers. No need to call out link like this. ADA pumped 70% after perps got listed on Coinbase. That's good to know. I'm surprised that I'm finding out that information right now, and I didn't see that anywhere. That I don't know how that slipped through the cracks. There's just so much stuff going on in crypto right now. I don't know how I let that slip through the cracks. Very, very insane. Total 3 will break out or range low. Good question. Here's how I see total 3. Okay. We're losing everything today. I don't know where anything is. The way that I trade ranges, and I've been trading ranges on altcoins like this all year, right? It's once you flip the daily 100, daily 200 definitively, right? Once you're finding buyers above this, getting support above this consolidation and breakout is very healthy. In my opinion, this is when the range is set to be broken. Like this is all the right conditions for a range, an accumulation range on any altcoin in the market to be broken, is when you definitively flip your daily 100, daily 200. Some people call this a bull market sport band, very fancy name for just some very simple EMAs. But I think that is kind of the launch pad that gets built. That can take you out of the range. And we're really, really front running this. It didn't give you any perfect retests. You're trading well above mid-range. You're into the highs. I wouldn't be the one personally fading this. I would rather just continue trading momentum to the upside, right? Whether or not this gives you a pullback on range high does not matter to me. Whether this brackets, right? This will feel really, really painful in the moment. If this just gives you, 5-10% correction on alts, like that's going to hurt a lot of people, especially the people that are just sitting in, cost basis neutral longs at the moment. But I think there is a very strong case to be made that this could be the time that we do break out of range highs. And you could draw this many of which ways. Like ranges and lines are all very, it's all kind of nonsense at the end of the day. You could put it at this high and you could say, oh, we're already breaking out of that high, right? You could put it at the candle body and you could say, hey, look, we've already definitively broken out. Oh, wait, that's not it. Like you can put it right here and you could say, we're already definitively broken out. We'll close up here, right? So everyone has their line drawn differently. This is kind of just how I've had my total 3 drawn for a very long time now. And to me, this looks like we're coming at range highs, but it's also a very healthy trend. And I think, what I just keep hammering and repeating is focus on the altcoins, either with a narrative, a catalyst, or that's already displaying strength. I think that's your best bet. And a little piece of alpha here is if you're kind of in laggard bags and you get these market pukes, right? And you get stopped out of your positions, you get trailed out, you go flat, whatever, and you get those pukes. That's your time to get the entry into the strong altcoins. That's your time to rotate into the winners and kind of, be on the right side of the trade for the next leg up. In terms of your spot bags, are you rolling back into majors? So I have long-term bags and then I have kind of trading bags, right? Where I take positional trades. Recently I took a lot of positional trades on like ETH beta stuff, right? I took the LDO positional trade. I've taken render trades. I've taken ARB trades, right? Whenever I close those, I'm taking them back to stables, right? I may deploy some speculatively, like let's say, I put, let's just say, just for the sake of discussion, I put 10K into a bag, right? And that coin goes up and it goes to 15K. It does a 15% rally, right? What I'm doing is I'm taking this 15 going back into stables, and I'll probably redeploy some of this into another speculative, like low cap play, right? I'll just, reinvest some of this into a low cap. Right, I'll put 1, 2, 3K into a low cap, something like that. I'm not putting it back into majors. I don't really see the point of adding to my majors at this point. These all have really comfy cost bases, like from down here, not ETH, sorry, from Bitcoin, from all down in this region, right? So I don't see the point of adding Bitcoin at 44K when I'm sitting on a comfy stack from like 16, 18, 20. So no, I'm not taking gains back to majors at this point. I'm just looking for good kind of long-term investments, stuff that I think is undervalued, something that I think can do multiples. The risk to reward is good still, stuff like that. Things that I'm not really going to discuss on stream because they're micro caps and stuff. How are you today? Oh, I'm great, man. I'm really good. I actually, I was gonna kind of let's sidetrack the chat for a second here. What is your guys' favorite Christmas movie? Last night, the girlfriend and I had a long ass debate about Christmas movies. We really couldn't find anything to watch. She wanted to watch Home Alone, and I'm honestly, maybe I sound like an asshole, but I'm sick and tired of watching Home Alone. Like, I'm tired of that movie, man. I've seen it too many times in my life. I can't get excited about Home Alone anymore. So I vetoed that one hardcore last night, and I suggested we watch Elf, because surprisingly, I haven't seen Elf too many times. Maybe like 5 times in my life, which is a lot, but it's a Christmas movie, and you're supposed to watch Christmas movies at Christmas time, and she vetoed Elf. So we couldn't really find anything to watch. We went around all the streaming services, and we ended up with some National Lampoon Christmas movie with Chevy Chase. We enjoyed that. But what's your guys' favorite Christmas movie? Give me some suggestions, so maybe tonight we could watch one of those. But yeah, that was my weekend. Very chill. I'm gonna go snowboarding tomorrow. Hope you guys have some plans outside of crypto. Could you chart Allegiant Gold? Doc, are you buying any gold mining company stocks? I'm not buying any gold mining company stocks. I'd rather buy Bitcoin mining stocks. This looks like RUNE before RUNE broke out. Where's RUNE? Triple top, lower highs, accumulation send, right? That looks just like that. That's funny. No, I'm not buying any gold mining stocks, but if you're just charting this, that looks funky. This coin's kind of at resistance right now. The downtrending daily 100, daily 200. You haven't reclaimed support yet. So I would, if I'm just taking this as a trade, I would wait for this to break cleanly back above whatever that is, 16.5, before I continued. I took a look at that right now, but I don't want to do chart requests a little bit later in the stream. What timeline is the ETF candle and retrace, you think? Pump and retrace in a couple days or a couple weeks? So here's what I think. This is what I'm accustomed to on Bitcoin. No matter what, I'm accustomed to distributive tops. I'm accustomed to tops that take a while to play out. Even if this top, see, like this candle right here was February 21st, it didn't puke until May, right? You had consolidation, you had pukes within this range, right? But more or less you had distribution. Here you had distribution again, right? Here at the merge rally top, you had distribution. Earlier this year in Q1, you had distribution. This rally you had distribution, right? The first ETF candle, you had distribution. So even if we top, right, I would say let's draw out a schematic, right? It doesn't matter what Bitcoin's doing. Let's just say we're chopping around, right? We get the ETF approval candle. I'm expecting this candle to burge. Whether that's a day or an hour or 2 days, I'm expecting this to retrace, because I think people will just market long. I think the people that wanted the ETF approval are just going to sell. I think people that bought here. I think TradFi has leverage position, their CME open interest, people that call options. I think everyone is just going to be taking profits and closing their positions. And I think people are probably already front running that and taking profits right now. But the only people that are going to cause this candle are news traders, news longers, algos. Like, that's what's going to cause this candle. And I don't think there's going to be anyone up here to buy these bags, and it's just going to burge straight down. That's what I expect. I'm probably not going to even try to trade this. I'd probably sell some minor spot bags, take some profits on stuff like that. I haven't thought about this yet, but in the back of my mind, I'm wondering now if I should hedge my spot Bitcoin and go delta neutral on this. And that's probably one of the things that I'm thinking about. But once this occurs, back into value, right? Back into value, probably maybe a little bit of overcompensation. And I think you're just going to trade back into this composition once again. Like, this is what I think Bitcoin's going to do. And it maybe does another rally to try to put pressure on people that shorted this candle, whether or not we take out this high or not. I don't know. But more or less, this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting kind of a long distribution in this area, maybe in Q1, January, February, something like that. And during this time, I think you'll get your kind of like final pumps on some alts. You'll get the ETH catch-up play. You'll get some narratives rolling around. You'll get extreme frothiness on stuff, and maybe like on-chain rotations like that. That's what I'm used to seeing. So that's what I'm continuing to bet on. I'm continuing to bet on kind of a distributive top like this, but I don't think this is going to puke down to zero the day it's approved. I don't think we're going to do this and get the approval and just nuke to zero. Those are my thoughts on kind of like the sell the news thing. I still think it's going to put a lot of pressure on shorts because it's too obvious of a top to short, in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I think. The Coinbase international account only has 7K followers, Hasaka, etc. They announced it. That was good alpha. Same people have. Okay, yeah, good. I'll follow that. Thank you, Luca. That's good alpha there, actually. What do you think about BONK? Okay, yeah, this is actually a topic for the stream, so I'll cover this one now. Oh, it's already retracing. Yeah. So this is what I thought was going to happen with BONK. I don't think this is just going to go to zero. I think this was another buy the dip opportunity. What I saw with Ordi, because I kind of did the exact same thing. I saw this candle and I looked at this for opportunity. And unfortunately for me, this is kind of like a really bitter story. This candle happened at really late at night, like 9 p.m. right? And I stayed up like almost all night. I stayed up till like 2 in the morning waiting for this to bottom out. I took an entry here at like 47, 48, and I thought this was going to Dalai Lama, and it didn't. It just stalled out. I closed my position. It puked. I got excited again. I was like, okay, let's go. Here's the one, right? Positioned again. Didn't see what I wanted. Again, cut it. Just kept bleeding out, and I gave up. I just gave up before. I was like, dude, it's like 2, 3 in the morning. I can't handle this. And I basically didn't make a dime on this. And because I stayed up so late, I didn't wake up on time. Usually I'm waking up at like 5:36 in the morning. I woke up at like 7 or 8 o'clock. So I missed this entire reversal as well. It was one of the it's one of the most angry moments I've ever had since I started trading in like ever. Like the anger this day watching this reverse was so painful. So I'm looking at BONK and I'm kind of taking the lesson of Ordi and going, let me be a little bit more patient. And if this just reverses back to the highs and doesn't have any consolidation, doesn't chop any people up, and it just V-shapes from here, so be it. You know, that's the nature of the market. I haven't taken any positions, but I do think this is gonna fucking Dalai Lama back to fresh highs probably. But the most notable thing, which I quickly scanned earlier today, is the hourly trend, right? The 1 hour EMAs, that's carried you all the way this month for a basically 2x. Oh my God. It is not a 2x rally, dude. It's almost a 4x rally. That's been broken, right? Definitively broken. So what this does for me always is say that like when the trend that is carrying you breaks, you're entering a period of consolidation. So even if this high gets taken, I don't think you're just gonna continue. Like I don't think this is what's gonna happen. Like you're just gonna pick up where you left off and continue and do another 2x. I think this is where more or less a range in a comp is gonna form, right? That'll be your range high right here. Wherever this low forms is going to be a range low. You'll probably take out this high. You'll probably trade back in the lows. You'll do something like this. You'll chop a lot of people up, and whether or not this gets continuation or not will be seen, yet to be seen. But more or less, this is what I think BONK is in for the time being. I think, I think leverage traders are about to get wrecked on this one. I think the free ride is probably over, and it's going to be a little bit more competitive trading BONK here. I don't think you're going to be able to just sit in bags and get a free ride for another 2x from this point. And another thing is I think BONK flipped PEPE definitively by a lot. And if you guys remember in 2021 last cycle when SHIB came out of nowhere basically and flipped Doge, like Doge had its miracle run with Elon and Saturday Night Live where it went to 70 cents, right? And it dumped and, it was having maybe a little echo bubble. And this was like the November rally, and SHIB came out of nowhere and flipped Doge, right? Flipped the market cap of Doge. And that was the Shiba top, right? That was the Shiba top. Doge got back, on top. I'm not drawing price action anymore, but market cap wise, it got back above Shiba, and it's been like that ever since. So I'm not trying to say that, this is the forever top for BONK, and it's never going to reclaim its position over PEPE. But I think, a lot of things have gone right for this coin. Like a lot of things have gone right for this coin. And I think it pays to be wary when the trend that carried you for the most recent 4x is broken. So yeah, I do think this high is going to, I think there's actually a very high likelihood that this high gets taken before it ends up, retracing. And if this just consolidates, right, the way that I would bet on continuation, if this consolidates for a while, builds a comp, has, a distribution like this, and then starts accepting outside of this distribution, that's where I'd be looking to bet on continuation, if that's going to happen. But I think it's going to take a long time. And I think the coin that displays this the best, actually, there's so many of them. I can use Solana, I can use INJ, I can do whatever. Let's actually just use INJ because it ranged forever. On the wrong, whatever. Let's get rid of this. Go to a higher time frame. Right, so it took a while. It took a lot of ranging, a lot of pump fakes, a lot of puking of longs, right, before it finally made the move to try to break out, right? And is this breakout going to hold, or do you need another shakeout? Because Link was an interesting one where it formed a long composition, right? It formed a very, very long comp in this region right here. Traded above it. Everyone thought this was going to be the candle. This was going to be the move. It's just going to continue, myself included, by the way, not exempt from this. And this is going to be the move, and we're going to go away. And it just chopped people up, puke the low, right, back into the prior comp, and then sent, right? So a couple things to be wary of on BONK from here on out. But yeah, those are basically more or less my thoughts. I do think this high is going to get taken at some point. National Lampoon or Die Hard? Yeah, man. Lampoon was funny last night. Don't flame me, but I'd never seen that before. Die Hard. Everyone says Die Hard. Can you talk about? Okay, we'll see. Bad Santa the movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. I might need to go back and watch that. Just watch Polar Express. Yeah, good one. Good one, Senorita. I'll look into that one for sure. Can you talk about, we'll get to yours in a minute. I'm in MYRO, right, and Bitcoin for Bitcoin miners, still getting a little exposure to gold miner companies. I think, yeah, man, I'm not into the gold mining, but we can talk about some stocks. Real quick, we'll do coin. So coin, I mean, it is hard to want to call, like, it. I don't want to call the top on coin yet. In fact, I bought more calls this past week. It's getting into that troubled zone right now, right? We're right pressed against it. This is weekly supply, right? So I do think we will trade into weekly supply, and I think that will be a rejection. I think we get to 174 if we can start accepting within this weekly supply. So what I had done, right? Basically, I was long from down here. I bought calls from down here. I closed a bunch of my calls on the way up. I'm left with 25% of my 130 calls, right? They're deep in the money. I have 25% of those left. And when this gap formed, I tweeted this out. I gave you guys the plans. Basically, a slam dunk is when this gap gets filled, I'm going to buy calls once again. I'm going to buy calls to look for this high to get taken out into weekly supply. So when we opened down this week on Thursday, I basically tweeted out right at open, okay, I slam bought calls for next week, right? So I have next week basically expiring, whatever the date is, but Friday next week, 150 calls, and I'll probably start taking profits on those the minute we start tagging into the supply right at 150. Those calls are up like 3x now. And then my last plan is going to be either kind of close everything out on the ETF approval, or if we can start accepting into this, right? If we can start accepting into this, I'm going to be tagging 174, which is a daily gap. So that'll be kind of the last area, right? And I'll probably close all leverage positions, right? If we can miraculously make it into 174, I wouldn't even care about ETF approval or whatever. I would close all my kind of leverage positions in that area, because I would just be up just way too much to not take profits there, because you're risking just a black swan ETF denial, right? I'm not trying to give away any of those profits, right? Hood is a nice one too. Since we're on the topic of stocks, like you guys are all familiar with these accumulation ranges. I'm sure all your shit coins look like this at some point or another. So I bought shares. I just bought shares right at like $10. Once we broke once we recaptured this bearish order block, right? You broke bearish market structure on the weekly, right? This is weekly bearish market structure since summer. You broke above that. I bought spot. I just marketed in. And if we ever retrace or revisit this area back at $9 or $10, I'm gonna buy a lot more shares on Hood. But for now, I'm in shares, and I have bull spreads targeting the highs around $12 or $13. Let's cover some of the coins of interest now. Number one, SUI. SUI has one of the best breakouts in the market, in my opinion, right now. Not only did you break above extremely long and torturous consolidation for about a month, and reclaim a significant point of breakdown. Basically, here's a big puke, here's your Dalai Lama back up, composition built, range low lost, retagged as resistance, right? This is a very, very significant level, bunch of resistance here, and broken well above it. So for me on SUI, I'm willing to knife catch if we get a broad market puke, if we get a deleveraging puke at any moment, and SUI pukes all the way back down to this range low. I'm going to be looking to pick up longs again on SUI, targeting the high, targeting 83. And more confluence to this is you've broken above the downtrending previous quarter's VWAP, right? We've reclaimed that, which is a very significant confluent to resistance in this area. And we're trading above the daily 100, right? Like I always say in all these accumulation ranges, trading above the daily 100, daily 200 is very, very important to me in my system. So reclaiming the daily 100, daily 200, trading above this is very significant. Again, if we get pullbacks into this region, I'm going to be giga long to 83. The position you see open right now is one that I got filled on last night, which isn't looking too cute at the moment, admittedly, and may actually stop me out. But you know, who gives a shit? The high time frame picture is intact for me. I'll just end up probably opening another long in this region if it continues consolidating here. Maybe it ends up forming a comp. I'm talking about worst case scenarios. I get stopped. It does something like this, right? And it does something like that. Maybe I'll end up looking to rebid into this position, allow some higher time frame moving indicators to catch up. Or if it wants to roll over and puke, I will be looking to bid around this range low, around 65. So those are the plans on SUI. RUNE is kind of a dud. This one is really disappointing me. This was one of the market leaders, right? So coming out of October, November, it was Solana, INJ, Link, RUNE. I know I'm missing some, but these were the market leaders, right? RUNE was a mega market leader. I'm looking for a third drive on this move right here. I'm looking like this is your drive 1, drive 2. I'm looking for consolidation here into drive 3. This area that I've highlighted here is a big point of breakdown. I think I highlighted like a 4-hourly cluster, right? So consolidation in this, consolidation in this area. This is the low that broke down. That's the area that I've highlighted on the daily. Deviation, reclaim, looking to hold this region as support and tag the weekly supply once again. This was a very, very nice take profit signal. I think we talked about RUNE multiple times on the streams, right? SFP of a high into weekly supply. Very, very strong. Get the fuck out of long signal. Take profits on longs. And if you're even ballsy enough to short in this environment, that is a pretty clean short signal. But I'm looking for another support to build in this region and target back into those highs. So for me at this moment, I've taken a position 630. And I'm willing to eat a little bit of drawdown. Like I have longs in this region, and I think what could happen here, since it's taking so long and giving people so many opportunities along these lows, I think you're gonna get a violent puke probably into $6 into high, 5. You may have to touch 5. Like just those numbers strike the fear of God into people and probably get them to puke their positions. But bidding into here, reclaim, I probably add it to my longs, right? And that'll probably be the moment where we can target into these highs. The confluence being the H4 100, right? Already held as support. If we get another move into the H4 100 here, that would be very, very nice to look to add to longs for the 770 move. Like I said, like this is a market leader that is now all of a sudden lagging. If anyone in chat knows why, maybe there's some FUD, maybe there's a reason, maybe there's some fundamentals going on that I'm not aware of why this is lagging, but I feel like this is the market kind of forgot, and it'll be like, oh yeah, there was this other really strong coin in the market that can put in another God candle to the highs. And you guys remember how long and annoying it was in this region as well. So we maybe just be experiencing another long form of consolidation before it reverses. But RUNE, very strong. Render, we've talked about this multiple times. I had a feeling earlier this week that this was going to get front run, so I just started, like I said on on RUNE, like you're just front running these levels, right? We all want this sweep. We were probably all targeting this sweep in this region. I front ran it, was rewarded. Now I think since you SFP'd this, you're trading back into value, right? I don't need to put up a volume range tool. You guys can clearly tell you're trading right back into the mid range of this. If it comes down and now finally sweeps up all these lows back into the H4 100, that's going to be another long signal for me. I'll be looking to get long on this sweep around whatever that is, 347, right? If I'm to get handed that, right? And that would probably occur the same time as me getting filled on SUI, right? So 2 banger longs in the books for this week. If we do get a market wipe, if we do get like a deleveraging event at some point this week, early week or something like that. TIA, at this moment, I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, we're going to bleed out to $7, $8. We're coming back down to this range low. But once again, it's just that same idea of just front running everyone's ideas, right? The consensus trades are not working. You have a big H4 sweep into the fair value gap. I didn't highlight this perfectly. I think I have like a 1 hour demand block. You have 1 hour demand listed here. And you got a market structure break now. So you had equal highs, you traded back into that, you traded through that. So I basically tweeted this out this morning and said the same thing of like, I'm gonna long TIA basically on a speculative higher low formation where there's lower highs and lower lows, bearish market structure, back into a POI, swept into that POI, took out the highs, flipped to bullish market structure. You're basically looking to defend a higher low, with this point being invalidation. If this trade thesis is to be correct, wipe out these highs. So this is another trade that I'm in. Dogecoin. We talked about this one on the timeline. This one, I'm not going to lie, was very hard to hold, even though the setup was there. I was sitting underwater, very, very deep underwater. And I know it's listed like this, but I actually had my stops up at this low once this occurred. Like I entered here on the first tag. I sat really deep underwater. I was like, okay, phew, we're okay. Once we did this, I adjusted my stop to this wick. And I don't know how the fuck I survived this. I don't know what miracle of God allowed me twice this week to escape certain death. I got away with this on OP, and I got away with this on Dogecoin. So like, I'm counting my blessings for sure. And I haven't taken any profits on this position at all. I'm just kind of holding it. It's very low leverage, comfortable position. My stops are still down here. I'm willing to round trip this. I'm willing to see it consolidate for a bit longer, because basically it's holding very, very nice H4 market structure, right? You're holding the 4-hour trends, you're holding 4-hour market structure. I'm expecting this 4-hour trend to hold once again and take us to higher highs. Dogecoin, now if I have it marked, if I'm a responsible person, yes I am. January 12th, they're having a launch of like Doge 1. They're sending a satellite into space with a Dogecoin theme. So I think Doge will continue to be strong into this event. I do think Dogecoin will top before this event. So like, it's not going to top on the 12th. It'll top way before that. Maybe Christmas time, maybe before. It'll top, it'll come down, and maybe on this day it'll put in a lower high. That's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. But I think higher prices are coming into Christmas time, into next year. So I'm just going to be holding this long for now. PEPE, once again, flipped a very, very significant level at 14. I'm riding longs on PEPE. My invalidation is on extremely high time frame, is underneath 14. I'm riding longs on this one, extremely low leverage. Okay, I should say this. Another thing, and I tweeted this out this week, if you guys are having hard time holding high time frame positions in CHOP, practice using sub accounts. Like take a certain amount of money. Like let's say your risk is 1R, right? If you're only willing to risk 1R, open a sub account, put that entire 1R in the sub account, open the position in that sub account, and then just go back to your main and just ignore this one. That'll prevent you from seeing red numbers if you're underwater. It'll prevent you from panic closing your position. It'll prevent you from hitting close all. It'll prevent you from doubting yourself. it'll just be out of sight, out of mind. And you'll get stopped, right? If your stop get hits, your stop get hits, but you won't paper hand your position. You'll be willing to hold longer term positions. And I'm basically, now that sidetrack is over, I'm basically looking to trade this back into these triple highs right here. These three, right? That's when I'll close my longs on PEPE. Once these get taken at 19. So I'm long. I'm giga long spot. This is my biggest altcoin spot bag by a mile. But that's neither here nor there. I'll close the leverage positions once we get to 19. I think this is, pretty healthy move, very, very strong level on multiple time frames, 3-day, 1-day, weekly, whatever. And if we come to, more history, it looks even cleaner. It's the MEXC chart. This, right? Daily will do us more justice, I think, right? Big puke low, right? Big swing low before all-time highs. Consolidation at these lows, right? Basically deviation under this low. This was that FUD event that the devs are selling. Reclaim, consolidate, break out, and form new value. So I think we're forming new value here, and this will be, trend continuation into these highs. Back to range high. So that's PEPE. ARB. This one is kind of exciting, but I'm not there yet, right? I've been talking about this one for weeks. My conviction is pretty strong that Arbitrum, once it flips the listing VWAP, right, it's going to go to all-time highs. Right now, this just looks like an SFP, and it's going to be a weekly SFP if we close like this tomorrow. But my conviction is that if this listing VWAP gets flipped, because basically Arbitrum is a bearish market structure since it's been listed. It's been bearish high time frame market structure. It's been bearish volume VWAP market structuring. It's been bearish everything, right? Like, it's never been in bullish structure ever. It's all just been kind of like dumping distribution. We finally have kind of like a decent launch pad for reversal, right? Where we have a significant low, we deviated the low, we spent like a month trying to flip this to support, and now we're getting kind of the first legs of the up move, right? And this kind of goes hand in hand with my thesis that Ethereum is going to be strong in Q1. Historically speaking, ETH has been strong in Q1. And I talked to you guys about the rotation that I expect happening towards ETH after the ETF approval. So Arbitrum should be carried by that. Honestly, I think Arbitrum could make a run to new all-time highs once we get out of this break. So for now, I'm just expecting more chop. But once we start getting above this listing VWAP, that's when I think the trending environment is going to begin. We talked about BONK. Just for funsies, we'll go over this one again because this was a sub-account trade. This was one that I did not have to worry about because I threw this one in a sub-account, right? I tweeted this out when we got this sweep here. I was like, look, this looks phenomenal on like every metric, right? We're holding the daily trends. And this weekly was really what caught my bias, right? I tweeted this one out a billion times. I was basically like, as long as we're trading above 165, we're going to get that move, right? And I stuck to that. And knowing, experience from this market, trading LDO in the 170s, trading SUI in the 40-cent region, I knew to expect chop. And I was like, I'm not going to paper hand this. I'm just throwing it in a sub account. So that's exactly what I did. When I got that sweep, where is that? Now it's on the 4-hour. When I got that sweep, I took the entry, right? And I basically ignored this. And that's why I did not chop myself up. I did nothing. And this was one of my biggest wins of the year, basically trading into the Q2 value area high when we got that candle earlier this week. Absolute banger trade. And this ignored the chop with the sub account alpha. So that's just for fun. I just wanted to share that. But yeah, I think we're now at kind of the, question answer chart request portion of the stream. If you guys have any questions on those trades, I just want to share kind of my top picks for the week, coins that I'm interested in, stuff like that. I do this on every stream. Actually going to take a moment now to shout out Wusong. I don't know if Wusong's in chat. I think I saw him earlier, but Wusong, if you're here, shout out to you, bro. He's the one that does all the thumbnails for me. He's the one that edited that Pierre short. If you guys haven't checked out the Pierre short, it's on the YouTube channel. Check that out. Banger video, good editing. Just like all around an awesome dude. Very thankful for him being in my corner, helping me out with the thumbnails and all that. So shout out Wusong. And then secondly, mandatory shill time. Guys, the clinic is this clinic is and has been my free and completely open to everyone Discord for the last year and a half. Basically, it's been a place for everyone to communicate, everyone to learn together, everyone grow together. It's where I've shared basically 85% of my trades over the last year and a half. And it's been a place where I've found and met so many cool people, like literally made lifelong friends through that group. It's getting very congested. So what I did recently is go private. Basically, and I want this to be more of like an alpha based group now. I want people to focus on contributing versus, taking. I think, whoever's been in there for the last year and followed, kind of the journey from the start, has gotten a great opportunity to learn. And I think, if there's any clinic people in chat, they can kind of speak to that, is that they've gotten this, great opportunity to learn from myself and other traders, and me learning from you guys as well. It's very, very mutual. It's not very one-sided. I get to learn from everyone, people that do fundamental analysis, people that are farming airdrops, people that have great insight to catalysts and news and narratives, trade different ways. So it's been this phenomenal community, but I have had to lock it up recently just because there's too many people. We have like 1,500 people now. And not everyone is active. I'd say, 100, 200 people are active. 1,300 people are in there inactive. So what I have to start doing from now into the end of next year is start removing people that are basically not contributing, not active, and basically, I don't want to call them leeches, but basically getting information from everyone there that's contributing, working hard, showing up every day. And not really giving too much back. So what I'm doing now, for anyone that wants to join the clinic, is basically allowing you guys to kind of submit an application. Like, if you think you have value to provide in any sense or form, right? It doesn't have to be like I'm a trading god or I'm this or I'm that. Any type of value that you could provide to other people as it pertains to the cryptocurrency industry, let me know in the DMs, either on Twitter or on Discord. And I'll get you in the clinic. And if you still want to be in, this is where you can join the kind of private section of the clinic, right? Which is people that are signed up through the Woo reference link, right? So if you sign up to Woo, you sign up and make one trade, you can get into kind of a private channel where I do private streams and answer questions for people. Because like I said, the clinic is super packed. I can't respond to all the people adding me in chat anymore. So I made like a kind of a private section for people that want my ear, or want my opinion on anything, so they can DM me or they can message me at any time. And I do streams for those guys occasionally as well. So if you guys want in on that one, all you got to do is sign up to the ref link here on Woo. I'm dropping it in chat. Sign up through that, make one trade, size does not matter, and you'll get access to that private section. That's pretty much it. Also, you'll get access to the clinic indicators, which are nothing more than some EMAs. But if you guys want my clinic indicators, those come in for free as well with the Woo deal. So that's that shout out done. Once again, thank you, Woo Song. Dope guy. All right, let's see what's in chat. Okay, Shiva, I ignored your message before because I saw it was kind of long. So how do you go about trading high probability, high time frame setup with perp, spot, compounding? Asking this because if I have a position with great entry on a coin, I tend to just let it run and look for other setups, which I realize is not the best thing to do. I should be taking more trades. I'm going to need you to clarify that. If you got a good entry on a coin and you're just tending to let it run, that's perfect. You're doing nothing wrong. And you said you realize that's not the best thing to do. So you want to compound, right? Basically, you think one coin is trending and you want to keep hammering that coin. Yeah, that's a very, very valid strategy. It's actually one of the accounts that I ran up the highest, dollar amount wise this year was just trading Caspa. And I just traded that one coin for multiple months. I think people are sick of hearing me talk about this now, but basically just traded Caspa for a while because I got in tune with that coin. And I had high confidence that Caspa would trend back to range highs in this region, right? So I was just constantly looking for long setups this entire way, all summer long. Like I was just long after long after long. Every setup on my system that would come, I would just continuously look for longs because I had the bias that we're going to trade back into range highs, right? So I think it's very valid to take a core position and then look for trades in the direction of your bias along the way. Definitely. You can definitely do that, but there's nothing wrong with just taking a good entry and riding it. Definitely don't get too hard on yourself. If you're doing that, you're already winning. Please cover ARB. I did ARB. Damn, skipped TIA. I did TIA. Do you think Bitcoin will go for the lows again, like sub 20? Yeah, that's a good question, man. I'm glad someone asked that. I don't think we're going to go sub 20 without an extremely strong catalyst, bearish catalyst. I think without a bearish catalyst, you're not getting 19K again. I really don't okay, here's the reflection part that I want to do in the stream. Do you realize what it took for us to go from 40 to like sub 20 last time? Do we even remember everything that blew up in crypto, top to bottom? You had macro concerns. You had the stock market blowing up. You had interest rates rising. You had CPI exploding. You had Luna doing Ponzi-nomics, buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin and basically having to market puke all that Bitcoin back into the market, right? With no buyers coming in. You had creditors blowing up. You had BlockFi, Celsius, everything that was supplying yield to people just holding passive assets in crypto blew up. You had everyone that was exposed to 3AC blow up. You had then you had FTX blow up. So we dealt with a lot to get this leg, right? I don't know how people who have survived this, bought and accumulated Bitcoin, are now going to be like, oh, we got back to 25. I guess I should just puke all my Bitcoin. I guess I should just sell the lows. I'm going to just sell all my spot. I'm going to sell it before all-time highs. No, it's way too late for people to capitulate. I think you need to strike the fear of God into people. Like, we even now have overcome Binance FUD. Like, that was the big overhanging, overarching, elephant in the room that everyone was terrified of. And now you've legitimized Bitcoin. Like, you have ETF coming in. Now you're going to have flows. Now you're going to have people in TradFi speculating on more continuous Bitcoin upside. They're going to have a vehicle to actually trade Bitcoin easier. Like, right now they have the CME futures. They have proxies like Coinbase. They have proxies like MicroStrategy. But they will have an ETF that they can speculate on from here on out, right? So it's hard for me to see Bitcoin going sub 20K ever again. Like, legitimately ever again. I don't know how we're getting there without black swans. Like, anything's, but like a black swan is not something you can predict, which is why I'm saying confidently we'll never get there, because you can't predict a black swan. Like, what am I going to say? The sky's going to fall. Aliens are going to come to Earth. Like, what's going to happen for this to happen? I don't know. I honestly do not know. And if we quickly take a look at the stock market, I mean, it looks healthy. Like trend wise, everything. Oh, that's not the stock market. This looks mad fucking healthy, dude. Like, this looks great. Like, I don't know how this is going to create new lows. It's not, right? If anything, like, maybe we just take out the highs and we come back inside, and maybe we, on a black swan at this point, even a stock market black swan at this point is only taking you down like to here. Like, that's a 20% nuke on stocks going from 48 to 40, right? I don't see how we're going lower than that. Historically speaking, stock market corrections are like 10%. Those are really, really extreme conditions to get the stock market to drop 10, 15%, historically speaking, right? These kind of events happen once every decade, right? So I think we got ours out of the way. So, I mean, I don't know. That's my take on it. CLSK, dude, I want to position to this, and I'm coping. I am coping bad not having any exposure to the shitcoin. If it comes back to like $7 or $8, which it probably will, it probably has to fill this gap. Whatever this exhaustion of this rally occurs, because it will eventually get exhausted at some point. If it does come back down to the $7 region, I'll be buying shares. No calls, no leaps, nothing like that. I'll just be getting simple share exposure, because I think this will probably trade to 20, 28 at some point. And I'm being really greedy. I know I should just, buy the top and probably just DCA in back to $5 or something like that, because I have tons of cash in my Boomer portfolio. I only have, I'm 60 something, 65, 68% exposed to Coinbase. Probably more because of how much Coinbase has exploded, doubled in the past month or something. So I just, my cash is there, and this is the top miner that I want to buy because it's the CT coin. Like CT's got buying power, bro. We don't need to underestimate CT. Like CT can meme this coin into existence if we want to, which I think we already are. So yeah, I would look into buying this in this region. I don't really have anything drawn out other than that at this moment. Just this, you know, high time frame SR level. If we trade back into $7, something like that, I'll probably start buying. I know people in the clinic bought this on this puke down here. They bought this at $5, and they're feasting over the past week. Jito too. Okay, here's all I'll say on Jito is it's kind of doing the TIA where it's bouncing off the listing VWAP. Right, so we have the listing VWAP, right, holding a support, holding a support, holding a support. If you get into this region once again, you probably long it once again. This is the same kind of thing that TIA did. Let's see if I have these on here still. Nope. But if I just actually, I think you could just do the monthly. Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing, you know, just holding above weekly and monthly VWAPs, right? It was the exact kind of same picture. That was the first expansive phase. Once you drop back into this, it led to a lot of consolidation and bracketing. So that's kind of the way I see Jito at the moment, right? So I myself have taken longs off of this a few times. I'm not catching these tops whatsoever. I'm just taking the wins. Actually, funny story. I'll tell you something, guys, based on the LDO position. I consider this a massive win. I don't know if you guys are in LDO and getting cucked like me, but I took spot longs on LDO. I built a kind of a massive position on LDO in this region down here. And I had high confidence that LDO would just track all the way to $3. Like we would get rid of all these lower highs, but this has been an absolute pain in my ass the last month, right? And I finally threw in the towel. Basically I dumped my LDO position at 250 and I took the entire thing and I bought Jito. I bought Jito at $2 and then I sold it at 270 and I bought it again at 240 and I sold it at 280. And that to me accomplished way more than waiting for LDO to get $3. So big win for myself this week. I'm not gonna be so upset about missing other things when I can accomplish you know, my own goals. I'm just thinking of that as like, oh yeah, you know, you took a trade on LDO, it hit your target. Like that's how I'm mentally compensating for the fact that LDO is the biggest piece of shit in the absolute universe. Like it's unfathomable. Like if it's Kanav or whoever the hell is selling this is just unbelievable that ETH coins are breaking out. Even Arbitrum, that sack of shit, is breaking out. Like everything is breaking out and LTO can't break 250. Horrible coin, dude. Horrible coin. Are you getting a Jupiter stimulus check? No, man. I didn't get the Jito stimulus check because I didn't listen to people that told me to stake my soul. Probably not getting the Jupiter stimulus check either. Soul, yeah, man. Soul looks awesome. Soul looks awesome. Like just textbook stuff. I'm not gonna LARP and say I got this long, but really, really nice. I missed the entry and I never chased, which is stupid. Definitely should have just chased this one. It looks phenomenal, right? Where are we trading against now on the weekly? I haven't looked at this in a while. Jesus, man. What a coin. Are we into this weekly supply? Yeah, okay. So we're pressed against this weekly supply. This is kind of like if you guys missed RUNE, go back in the stream a little bit. I talked about RUNE. It's basically the same idea. Like this is where this is the synonymous region on the weekly for Solana now, right? So this weekly region is probably going to provide some level of resistance on Sol, especially because you got the two-pronged move. A lot of parabola comes in twos, right? You have a big move, a consolidation, and a second move. Like this is a very, very common theme on a lot of coins, and it's very possible that Solana could be in that region right now, where it's more of let's play liquidity games like in this region versus let's play expansion. But I don't want to fade it. You know, I faded this region. I was like, okay, this is probably a good place for Solana to top. It didn't do that. It went a little bit higher, but now you're in that kind of second leg of parabola, the classic parabola schematic, right? Big move up, consolidation, big move up, consolidation, right? Like that's the sauce right here. Oh wait, this is different. This is this one, right? Yeah. Right. So sorry. Big move up, consolidation, big move up. This is monster moves, right? So this is kind of the same thing. Big move up, consolidation, big move up. Solana could be in that regime right now, right? So, I mean, this is a phenomenal breakout. If you get any pukes or pullbacks into Sol, into this region, I think that's for buying, for sure. You don't fade breakouts in this market at all, man. Don't be that idiot that fades a breakout. I mean, INJ looks great too. The only thing with INJ is I'm wondering if it's going to trade nicely, or like I said, if it's going to do a link and kind of do one of these first. We will have to see. A little bit more time is required. If Satoshi moves his Bitcoins, yeah, man, that'd be scary, wouldn't it be? Yeah, I just see people juice the most out of a coin they have high conviction and direction on, whereas I somewhat lack in that, getting comfy in one position. Yeah, man, I mean, it's all personal, right? If you have super high conviction, you can definitely like Texas hedge, right? Basically take a spot position and then long that coin in the same direction. A lot of us do that, like Coinbase. Like that's exactly what I did. I bought a bunch of shares, and then when we started, getting closer and closer, the longer this, I was just started buying calls, and I was like, this is going to this by January. We got the January deadline of like 90% approval, so I was like, what? Well, okay, 100% Coinbase is going to move with Bitcoin. Start buying calls, right? And you can just keep betting in the same direction of the coin that you're already long, like from a spot perspective or from a deleveraged position perspective. Question. We always have risk rotation Bitcoin to ETH to alts. I saw some claims, CT, that this year is the first time strong alts rally the same time as Bitcoin. So we've been doing this all year. That's a great observation. This isn't the first time we've done this all year. We've been doing this all year. It's been a different paradigm. Even in these rallies right here, even these moves, even the opening year rally, alts rallied with Bitcoin. Alts have been rallying with Bitcoin. Strong alts do not give a fuck. There's no longer this paradigm of Bitcoin moves and then ETH moves and then Solana moves. That doesn't work anymore. And then on-chain moves and then microcaps move and then memes move. We don't do this anymore. We do this kind of all at once. We literally do this all at once. The rotations now come from like new coins. We rotate into new coins. I forgot now. I remember like PEPE came in at the top right here. Like PEPE was a new coin, and we all kind of rotated and played the PEPE rotation during this kind of complacency shoulder rally on Bitcoin. I think in this region somewhere, Unibot, was the coin of choice, right? So the new coins kind of take the spark towards the end of these rallies, and who knows, maybe that's Jito now. Like this could be the coin where everyone just kind of attaches themselves to it and goes like, well, we're just going to send this coin to the moon where there's no, oh shit. I thought I lost the stream. Okay, we're good. This could be the coin of choice. There could be another coin that comes out, but no, dude, we don't do this, Bitcoin moves, ETH moves. It doesn't happen anymore. We kind of just send everything in tandem. And I think people that think that paradigm still exists are sorely mistaken. We kind of do. What we kind of do is just kind of go to laggards. Like what we'll do is like the end of rally, we'll just go, oh, this coin hasn't pumped yet. Oh, might as well pump this coin. Oh, this coin hasn't pumped yet. Let's go to this one. Like, I don't even know what those coins are in this market. Like I saw ADA pumping, right? And that didn't really do much until recently, but that also had that catalyst of Coinbase perps listing, right? So, wow, man. Wow. Really looking at this now. Wow. I mean, it's still in this range, but yeah, monster move. You can definitively say the bottom's in on Cardano. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, we kind of just rotate into around the market of like, well, what hasn't pumped yet? And I think what the, kind of the later signs of a rally nowadays have been NFTs. I've noticed, because I just have a very minimal amount of exposure to NFTs, whenever my NFTs have started moving and climbing, that usually coincides with these Bitcoin tops. Usually my NFTs gain value around these Bitcoin tops. And we've seen NFTs do some work over the last few weeks, but I think the NFT rally actually started over here and Bitcoin put another leg. But those are more signs that I look for down on the risk curve versus anything else. Ecosystem tokens are another one. Thanks, Andrew. I'm here for the LDO slander. Yeah, fuck that coin, dude. Piece of shit. I found that the more that you slut shame coins, the better they perform. Can you talk about the blur chart? Of course. It seems like it lost a lot of momentum. This is a CT darling coin for a little bit. First things first, guys, I haven't traded this coin once. So that's always important to point out, is like I have no rhythm with this, but this is as clean as it gets, right? As far as from an SR perspective, very clear support, right? First time building bullish market structure after this listing. I know there's a lot of price history of this just going down only first, but we're just going to work with the OKX chart because it probably got listed on a lot. Let's go to Binance. Oh my God. It just got listed on Binance? No way. Oh, they had perps listed before spot? Very interesting. Okay, either way. Marked it out. I didn't take any of these trades. Great moves here though. Or at least I did. I don't remember taking any of these trades. Maybe I did. It has been a long month. This would be the next area. Let's see if we have a daily 100 yet. Oh, that's all the way down there. 400. Okay, so these are the daily trends. So this is really the region you want to see blur maintain now. I wouldn't want to see this. Okay, so we're gonna do it like this. I'm gonna highlight the demand. Let's see if it's cleaner on the 4 hour. Yeah, we're gonna highlight this 4 hour consolidation. This is where we're finding support. We've consolidated here long enough for the H4100, H4200 trends to catch up. This is synonymous with a daily trend, right? So the low time frame trends have been lost. The high time frame trends have been maintained, right? You're basically trading in this range. You're finally probably ready to make another attempt upwards after being caught by the daily 100, right? You would have to look for low time frame triggers, which is not something I'm going to do right now for you guys. But basically, this is your risk, right? From a high time frame perspective, let's just say you mark it in right here. This is your invalidation, is losing that range low. That's probably your extension target. If you think this is going higher, raise your targets. But yeah, this area right here is really what you need to defend. It looks pretty good, man. It looks pretty good. Thanks for pointing that out. I'll probably keep it on my watch list now. This is the benefit of me doing streams. A lot of people ask why I stream. Well, number one, it's to hang out with people in crypto. Because I think, this is like a lonely game that we've socialized, and I kind of love the social aspect of it. And number two is people do give me gems. Last week, someone gave me PYTH. I remember this one played out fantastic. We talked about, I forgot where we were. We were right here. We're right here. And I was basically saying, well, as long as the listing VWAP holds, we have equal highs into supply. I think this was on the 1 hour chart. And this was a banger right afterward. These drawings are from last stream. This was someone gave me this last week. And I was basically like, as long as these listing VWAPs are holding, you're going to take out these equal highs into supply. And that was the banger trade last week. And then this is the continuation setup. Basically reclaim above this, get a bid above this, and you're going to continue. That doesn't look like it's happening. You're coming all the way back down to the listing VWAP. This is probably where I'd be looking to buy or long PYTH once again, or wait for a break in structure, right? So take out this high, reclaim this level, and look to play continuation from this. So basically either higher or lower, not in no man's land. Blur cucked. It faked flipping the listing VWAP, thought it would go to value area high, but now it's turning listing VWAP into resistance. Friendship ended with Blur. Dude, do you have Tensor exposure? I need to get Tensor exposure somehow. Maybe I'll just buy one of the NFTs. Maybe I'll just buy the top on one of the NFTs, but I have extreme Tensor FOMO at this point because I feel like I have to pay the stupid tax. And the stupid tax, if you guys don't know the concept of the stupid tax, is basically if you know you should do something and you've been fading it long enough, you owe it to yourself to fucking buy the top. Just buy the top, deal with the drawdown, and you finally have exposure to it. And if, best case scenario, it keeps going up. Worst case scenario, you've bought the top and now you can start accumulating. But just get exposure to your coins and pay your stupid tax. But I feel like I have to do that on Tensor, dude. I'd rather just buy Tensor token on launch like Jito. Dude, I think the Tensorian airdrop is going to be massive. And I feel like you probably get the price of the Tensor back. Dude, people told me to buy this months ago. So long ago. People were like, Doc, buy Tensorians. Like, you don't understand how stupid I feel for fading Solana Eco and not staking my Solana on Jito and not buying Tensorians and not buying some Solana NFTs, not making some on-chain transactions. The last time that I was on Solana chain was when I bought RLB, like in whenever that was, January, February, March, something like that. Whenever that Gainsey FUD was all over CT, that's the last time that I bought or went on-chain on Solana. Are the NFTs at 120 Sol floor? I feel like that's expensive, but also kind of like, yeah, that is expensive. It's like 10K, right? Yeah. Wild, boys, wild. Yeah, feel free to request charts that you want to see me cover now in chat. We're definitely at that point. I've pretty much talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I'm happy to go through charts with you guys and find some more gems going into this week. By the way, is anyone in Beam? This has been a monster spot play for me. Like, absolute monster spot play. One of the best. I would just wish I sized into this. I bought this when it was MC, and just because I knew all the influencers are going to be shilling this coin all over CT. I bought it when it was MC, and then when they like delisted it, I just swapped and bought this Beam off listing. I'm just sitting in spot on this token. I haven't taken any profits on this, and this is a monster. People are calling for $500 Sol for Tensorian. Jesus. I mean, why not, dude? Why not have the NFT bubble this cycle be on Solana? Actually, dude, the NFT community on Solana deserves to be celebrated. They vibed through the entire bear market. Like, good for them, dude. They never let Solana NFTs die, even in the entire bear market. Like, they deserve a Solana NFT, like, epic bubble. Pentoshi got all the Haven analysts to buy spot Beam. I can't believe I faded. Yeah, that's kind of how I heard it through the grapevine as well. Is like, oh, all the people are buying Beam, so I just kind of like tailed and bought it as well. ILV. Let's do ILV. Anyone know what's going on with the gaming shilling? Because to me, this is the most forced narrative I've ever seen. Every time NFT crypto gaming comes up, it always just feels so forced. It just feels like people have extremely large VC bags and everyone just gets together and goes, okay, guys, this month the conditions are right. We're gonna shill our gaming coins again. That's just always how it feels like to me. I mean, if you caught this, that was nice. This is a tough one to buy the top of this candle because I'm just expecting this to continue bracketing. You're closer to the highs than you are the lows, I think, at this point. That's clean. Yeah, I wouldn't long this. What I would long is like sweep these, probably get rejected there, come all the way back down into this region, and then we could try to, we would call this a reclaim, right? There's your support, here's your deviation, you cleaned up the highs, you flipped back to bullish market structure, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, big puke, reclaim, sweep these highs, now you've put in a higher high again, look to long the higher low, and then continue there. That's the way that I would do that on ILV. Let's actually do this. Set an alert here, and then I will set an alert here. Ansem's conviction and soul trade may be the best in the space ever. Yeah, man, fantastic. I mean, I feel like an idiot because I've been long and singing the praises of Solana all year, but I'm just a stupid chart monkey. I'm just a line drawer and a trader. I'm not kind of like a fundamentals guy, so I never understood kind of the value prop that was being developed in Solana. I was basically just looking at it as an extremely lucrative reflexivity trade. Basically, Solana just got extra hammered versus any other coin. It was down like 99% from the highs. No other top 10 coin, top 15 coin hit those lows. And I was looking at that as extreme opportunity. I was like, well, nothing happened to the tech. It's the same thing. It's just getting hammered by unfortunate circumstances and kind of relationship to FTX. I don't give a shit about that. I know it'll recover and it'll give me a good return. And I was buying it from $11, $14 all year. Unfortunately for me, I was treating it too much like a trade and not so much like an investment. And I looked at it, comparing it to ETH and to Bitcoin, and feeling it was overextended and feeling like I got the absolute value that I was going to get out of Solana for the market that we were currently in. Unfortunately for me, the underlying driver of price behind the scenes was a lot stronger than I expected, and a good lesson for me. I learn really well when I make mistakes, not when I get things right. So that's always going to be, hard lesson to learn, but that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to be paying attention to basically forever now, is like, what actually is, going on in the bags I'm buying, and not just buy them based on price alone and setups alone. Thanks for the actionable stream. Down to the vibes. Yeah, man. Take care, man. Take care, Joe up. Good trade, Shiva. Sand looks good. Becker has 1 million followers in a gaming show. Dude, Alex Becker is... Yeah. The only thing I want to say, I'll only share one thing. One time he tried posting some LARP shit on CT. Like, what did he say? He's like, oh, XYZ are coming into the system. Oh no, I forget. I remember what it was. He made a post calling out Matt Damon for doing the crypto.com commercial. I forget what the tagline is for that, but I think you guys all know what commercial I'm referring to. And he did a post and he's like, all these people come to pump our bags and they're tourists and they're visitors and I'm an OG. Like, that was kind of the tone. And I looked at him and I go, dude, your first YouTube video was basically like 6 months before. Your first YouTube video on crypto was like 6 to 8 months before that commercial. Like, you're a tourist just as much as him. And he claims to be this like crypto OG, but I don't know, man. Not to me. To me, he's just as much of a tourist as anyone else. Came into the space, made some money, good for him. But basically, if you look at his YouTube channel and look at the videos he was producing before crypto, he's just kind of like a salesman. Like, that's his shtick. He's selling you stuff no matter what. He's a blogger, he's a YouTuber, and he's a salesman. And he came to crypto and kind of just made this name of like, he's an OG. He's not an OG. He just came in last cycle too. He came in with the money also. And yeah, he shills gaming tokens because he has his own like gaming project. So he like macro LARPs and says everything's going to zero, and at the same time says gaming's going to be the biggest bubble in crypto history and going to swallow the earth of everything else. And we'll post that one day, and the next day we'll be like, well, crypto's going to zero because of macro. So funny dude. Just watched my first ever Becker YouTube video. He's exactly the type of retard that we need. Yeah, man. I have nothing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're right. We'll just leave it at that. I've already talked enough shit. I don't really like talking shit, but that was more of a truth than anything else. But also, to finish the wrap up that story, when he did post that on CT, that whole thing about Matt Damon, I commented on that. And I took a screenshot of his video, and I'll be like, dude, your first YouTube video was at this date, only X amount of months before, that commercial. And he did some like, roundabout whataboutism, like not whataboutism, but like, you just like curved the question and left like 3 comments under my 1 comment, and then deleted the entire thing like a couple hours later. Like deleted the original tweet, deleted everything. High time frame thoughts on Woo and FTM. Woo got caught by the daily 100, daily 200. It looked really good for reaccumulation. So yeah, this was the catch. This top here was the kind of FUD on Woo of like, oh, the Chronos liquidity provider is providing, you know, 40 to 50% of the liquidity on the platform, even more than that, I think. And when Chronos got hacked, you know, Woo, you know, basically was hyper illiquid, like hyper illiquid, and people were getting stopped out of the positions and getting liquidated and stuff like that. So that was kind of like the thing. And people are raising the alarm bells of like, well, Chronos and, you know, Woo are so closely tied, and there was this whole like, oh, what if this is another FTX kind of thing? And you guys all know that all, you know, that was all wrapped up, and now we have more liquidity providers on Woo, and you know, their transparency dashboard helped out a lot. You guys can see where the reserves are, and lastly, they refunded everyone. They refunded everyone that got caught up in the you know, liquidation event with the liquidity. But yeah, that was your FUD. This was your buy the dip moment on the FUD, basically caught by this range low, caught by daily 100, daily 200, reaccumulating and just starting to trend once again. So looks pretty good. And on high time frame, I think we're still just in you know, very high time frame accumulation range. Like this will be a banger trade one day, right? One day it'll break out of this range definitively, catch a spot bid, and probably end up back at these highs. But that's probably not going to happen this risk on cycle. 69, amazing. But yeah, this is the trade to be had one day. I just don't think it's probably not ready for that yet. People definitely need to forget about the poor taste that Woo left in everyone's mouth after this one. So time will heal all. And yeah, probably everyone will just ape into this when it starts clearing the highs once again. Yeah, I went over render Jedi. As gaming is drawing up. Wait, did I did go over render. That was one in my plans for the week when I was covering all the coins that I'm looking at. As gaming is drawing a bunch of liquidity since everyone is worshiping Becker, AI, and the other side of consolidating being on a being on a cool off. Certainly some opportunity here with some contraction thoughts. Well, you have to give me tickers and have to look at them. I like I said, I'm not a fundamentals guy, and I have to work on that. I have to learn more about the coins that I'm trading, especially in this market, because there's a lot of edge in that. You know, it cost me like with the Solana trade and other trades and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to up that part of my game in the days, weeks, months to come. But yeah, you'd have to give me tickers to look into as far as gaming goes. As far as just simple thoughts on, you know, consolidating in the gaming sector. Yeah, if you're bullish on a sector and it's consolidating in an uptrend, it's probably very healthy, especially if you're trading above, you're trading in bullish market structure, you're trading above the daily 100, daily 200, you're breaking out of an accumulation range. Like all of these things are very healthy things for gaming. I wish there was like a ticker that was just blanket, like you can cover the gaming sector. That'd be very nice. Yeah, man, Woo did a great job handling that. I thought they did a very good job handling that. You don't really usually see that kind of response from other exchanges to literally refund everyone that got affected. That's pretty cool. I don't think they definitely didn't have to do that. They definitely could have played that off and didn't have to spend millions of dollars to do that, but they did. So good for them, man. Very good looks. Not so much ticker spam today. Very surprising. Usually in my streams, I get people requesting so many coins that I can't keep up, and I eventually just get exhausted. Very kind of different vibe today. Different vibes today. What are your guys' biggest plays for the week coming up? Share something with me too. How about that? Give back to Doc. Give me something to look into, play, buy. Give me your low cap gems. Did I chart OP? I talked about my trade on OP and how I closed it and how this is the Q2 value area high, you know, confluent with the point of breakdown, right? So we had this big SR from earlier this year, right? Super clean SR at 220. and we're coming back into that region. So definitely a very strong place to risk off. And yesterday that candle is even more detrimental. So I wouldn't be surprised if this retraced even like half or more than that, 2/3 of this candle, and we find support once again on the H4 100 200. That's what I'd be looking to re-long OP. But I'm fully out of OP for the time being. Like, this is a very, very significant level, monstrous level, if we just even take it like that, right? But yeah, this support building is huge, right? Like, I'm still bullish on OP for continuation. I just think like this candle is not sustainable on its own. It's gonna need to retrace, consolidate once again. We could look for longs once again, probably off the daily 100, daily 200. I've noticed that a lot of coins are not able to trend on the 4-hour trends anymore. A lot of coins are not able to trend on the 1-hour trends anymore. Like they're getting daily trend consolidation, exploding, and then looking for the daily trend once again. Like, you know, the one that taught me this was Link, right? I thought like, okay, this is enough consolidation. This breakout should take us, right? And what did it do? It consolidated again, sweep the lows again, waited for the daily 100 once again before it made the next move. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for in OP. I'm not gonna rush back into that position just yet. INJ may do the same. Like, I really don't want INJ to do this. I'd rather this just pop off from here, right? I mean, as would everyone, right? I don't think anyone wants to see this. Like, I want to see this held. I just want to see this expansion held. I don't want you to have to consolidate and wait and take this H4 trend just for another candle, right? Because these moves are just getting weaker and weaker. Like, I really want to see this continue the same way Solana did, the same way AVAX did. Like, this was a really strong move that INJ is not getting. AVAX was even crazier. Like, this is insanity. Speaking of AVAX, no one really asked me about this yet, but, you know, taking out this significant monthly high is something that we should be wary of, right? Like, basically, all this rally was breaking your downtrend. You broke monthly downtrend, you broke weekly downtrend, you broke EMA, VWAP, you broke every single downtrend in the chart, and this is kind of your repricing rally. And it would be painful and unfortunate and sad and whatever if this was kind of ends up being like the echo bubble top, right? And AVAX needs another couple months of ranging down here before it's ready to do another like quality bubble. But yeah, I think my thoughts on kind of the repricing and stuff is going to age pretty well. Also, USDT, right? The last time we were down here was the merge, right? That was the last macro event where other people got involved. TradFi got involved. We had CME, premiums, right? On ETH and on Bitcoin during the merge rally. And we're kind of at that region right now. So very interesting to see, you know, where the deployment comes at this moment. Because I pretty much think that if you're in CT, like, you're deployed at your risk maximal right now. Like, if you want to keep 30% stables, right, and 70% exposure is your max risk, I'm pretty sure you're at that right now. Like, I think over the last 6 to 8 weeks, people got out of, you know, their comfort zone and they basically got to their max risk. That's where I firmly believe that everyone is. Whether that max risk is all in, whether that max risk is 50% stables, whatever that it may be, I'm pretty sure everyone is kind of reaching that moment where they're deployed where they want to be. And I think in the market now, like, it's just going to be rotations between coins, rotations between liquidity and stuff like that. Narrative-based token trading, structural trading, that kind of stuff. It's going to be very hard for coins to just hold these pumps. Like, Solana is doing a great job at doing it. Is doing actually a fantastic job at doing it. But I talked about how this is like pressed against weekly supply now as well. Very significant level for Solana. Okay, we got some in KUJI, dude. KUJI gives me ulcers because I fucked this trade up. I was bullish on this one, and I was spot long somewhere down here, and I don't know why I threw away the position, but I threw it away. Why did I highlight this? Someone must have asked me about this weeks ago. Dang. Okay, so I think whatever analysis I did back then is still proving to hold true. Okay, so we must have been like down here somewhere, and I was basically probably telling people that like I wouldn't be bullish on KUJI until this point of breakdown was reclaimed, and here we are a month later, and I have nothing more to add. It's the exact same thing. Once this point of breakdown is reclaimed, that's when I'd be bullish on KUJI. One other thing would have been this sweep. That's a really nice move. If someone caught it, and let's see, this is gonna miraculously. Nope, it wasn't. I thought it would be. I thought that would have been cool. But this is kind of nice. This sweep underneath the H4 100, H4 200 being caught by this, that's a really nice basket to build fresh support. Since like I'm not in on this wick and not in on this, again, from a trading perspective, from a risk management perspective, I wouldn't get in until this area was flipped. That low time frame first point of breakdown, that first breakdown from this parabola, right? You basically need to reclaim that point of breakdown, and that's when you're gonna probably get continuation and maybe a move to that wick. But for now, resistance is still resistance. Like, but this would have been a nice entry. Big time. This is a gaming coin, right? This is a coin that everyone was trying to shield to me as the next Axie, and it looks interesting. Yeah, you would think that if it wanted to, you'd think that it would have gotten some bid, because look, when you've developed one floor of support for multiple hours, multiple days, and you're not able to hold that, and you set a lower low, right? We felt build more support, trade back into the prior region. Why am I not highlighting this for you guys? Trade back into the prior region, unable to reclaim that, and kind of selling off once again. So this needs to find support first before we can look for any type of reversal. I wouldn't be bullish on any type of continuation until this level was reclaimed, which is 614. Yeah, 614. Until 614 is reclaimed, I'm probably not gonna be speculating on any upside on big time. What kind of rally was this? 10x? Just take these lows. Yeah, Jesus, 9x. Yeah, I mean, if this is fundamentally bullish, I would think that you would get at least I mean, right, like maybe buy spot down here, depending on market cap, right? That would be enough of a bubble retraced, right? There's your parabola. This area right here would probably be your definitive support. Probably bracket in this area, right? Something like this, reclaim that, and that's your next leg whenever that does happen. I'm talking about this like it's a weekly chart, and I'm realizing that I'm trading on the 4-hour because these market cycles are so quick now. It's insane. Yeah. So if this can't hold, I would be looking for like this region. Maybe take out this wick. I'll set an alert here. See if this actually happens. Like take out this wick, maybe tag this supply. That would be enough of a shakeout, right? And that would probably be a long trigger for me down here at 45 if we can get there. Otherwise, look for reclaim. Right now, it's just kind of in no man's land. I wouldn't do anything with this. Cock. People have been talking about cock in the clinic. I don't know what the fuck that coin is. Can we also talk about how goated MEXC is now for listing shitcoins? Yep, it listed it first again. Good job, MEXC. Not too much I can say on this, man. Too fresh of a chart. Very hyper illiquid. Not something I would trade. The only thing I would say about this one is throw on the listing VWAP. And yeah, since it's kind of trending, look for longs off the top of the band. I've said this before. I learned this from Magus. Basically, if VWAPs are trading flat, you trade it like a range. If VWAPs are pointing upwards, you treat them like EMAs and look for support off of either the middle band, which is the actual VWAP, or the top band, which is one standard deviation above. Consider the value area high. So this right now looks like it's going from a ranging and it's attempting to go to an expanding mode. So if this holds right here, right? If this holds right here, you'd be looking for fresh highs again. if bullish market structure develops in here, if you get bullish triggers in here off of the top of this, that would be another launch pad towards fresh highs. I don't think I can't do this coin because it's not listed on here. Chili's has been a cycle top indicator for a little bit now. Every time Chili's gets the bid, I feel like it's always over. This is the opening year rally. This is the April rally. This didn't even pump on this time. Oh, this looks better though. This looks good though. I think you retrace the entirety of the bull market finally. This one is one of the coins that took forever to retrace its bull market pump because of the World Cup last year. Like, it was on its way here, and then the World Cup gave it second life. Like, this was such a monster coin last year. I don't know if you guys traded this one, but damn, this was a monster, and it was really fun to short. I made all my money on this shorting this. I was that guy. I did not take any longs on I think I took one long on Chili's last year, but 90% of my trades on Chili's last year were shorts. I was literally that guy. Can't wait for this to be sell the news so I can short it. That's who I was, instead of longing and submitting to the narrative. Chili's looks good. From a spot perspective, I again wouldn't trade this versus any other coin at the moment unless it had a catalyst. If it does, leave that in chat and then we'll look at it in more detail. Ooh, this is completely out trading PEPE. Yeah, here's that same thing, right? Listing the. Well, let's see. Yeah, I don't like it on this. Hold on. That's better. Yeah, you really just want to see this listing VWAP high held, right? That's like the number one thing, is to say that we're expanding outside of a consolidation. You really just want to see this listing VWAP held. The reason I use this over EMAs is because these charts are way too fresh in the beginning to use EMAs. I tend to use more like range bound mechanics and tools, like either a VWAP using highs and lows, or just simply fixed range volume profile. But yeah, it looks good. As long as you're trading outside this, it looks good. This is hard to trade. I would imagine. I would imagine trading this was really, really hard. I would look for sweeps to get back into this if I had to, right? You have like 4 stacked lows here. So I would look for this to get swept and maybe tag the top of this value area high on the listing VWAP. And that would be the entry trigger for longs. I couldn't long in the middle of this. Jupiter could do the same as Ray or Orca. Yeah, dude, I need to get on the Solana things. I have a list. That's going to be my day either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to go snowboarding tomorrow, but maybe tonight if I find time, or tomorrow after snowboarding. I have to do a lot of Solana stuff. Gig along on ETH and waiting for 2.7K region to take TP. Yeah, man. Same. I'm not leveraged long on I'm not perp long on ETH at the moment, but yeah, I am giga spot long. I'm giga spot long, and I think, I haven't decided yet. I talked about this at the top of the stream, but I haven't decided yet if I'm going to hedge my spot or sell my spot. I'm leaning towards hedge or do nothing. I can even tolerate round tripping, like, to be honest. Because these are such long-term bags, like I would feel really stupid selling at 2,700, and I haven't hedged large spot positions before. I've hedged like Caspa and stuff, but like at the time when I was doing it, it wasn't large relative to my net worth. These ones are large relative to that. So I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with this position. When I find out, I'll tell you guys. Cocky on AVAX is just the meme coin, just as we had MYRO for Sol. Got it. Same idea for me. I don't know what you're talking about, Tommy, but OP. Yeah, that's what you asked me. PAAL USM high. PAAL is, which coin is this? I know PAAL. I think this is XO's coin or CZ's coin. SC, sorry, SC's coin. This looks good, man. I mean, it's AI, right? So this is insane. Really, really good. I'm not in this, but I can't advise anyone to buy the top of this either, even if, I don't know. This is a coin that I would have to look into market cap and fundamentals and catalysts and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. If there was perps, I would probably trade this, but I'm definitely not buying spot right there. Long AZERO on MEXC. Consolidation before breakout to 1.8. Maybe. Yeah, it could be this. Here's what I'll say on a bunch of these coins now is use kind of the tactics and stuff that I talked about in other coins and kind of just apply that to your own coins, right? If I don't give you, exactly what you're looking for. But yeah, this is a big deviation that you cannot trade like deep within anymore. This needs to be held. There needs to be demand here. Like that's the issue with some of these coins, that they're just not showing the veracity of buying, right? Pretty much when you get a deviation like this, a sweep, a deviation, a reclaim, and this entire thing bleeds out, that's always tricky. Like you would always want to see a buyer of second order come in and be like, oh, I missed. I can't get in. Oh, finally we got to pull back into this low time frame demand and then try to like build in there, right? But when the full thing retraces, that always looks ugly to me. But yeah, I mean, you could definitely make, you said all-time high? No, you said 1.8. Yeah, it definitely could. I see the merit of trying to long this range low towards a potential breakout towards like one of these highs, right? You said 1.8. I don't know where you're getting that level, but yeah, I see the merit of taking that trade. I just don't like gut feel looking at this. It already looks illiquid. It doesn't look like people are hyper interested in longing this. This distribution sucks. This Burge sucks right here. Especially after this much. Like, why would you Burge after this much? I don't know. It's probably just going to frustrate me being in this long. Like, it'll take so long to get where you want it to go. I would be too frustrated to take a long on this. Cosmo ecosystem next. Kajira, Akash, INJ Osmosis. Yeah, maybe. How's Adam doing? This is like the most laggard like top coin there is. This is like worse than Cardano, worse than, what is going on with Atom? Is this still like a good coin, fundamentally speaking? Have they been doing stuff in the bear market to make their coin better? Is this another sleeper? Like, I remember Ansem used to be hyper bullish on Atom. I haven't heard him talk about Atom like once, unless I missed it. This used to be another like really, really strong Ansem coin. But I mean, this is important right here. Like the highest volume node of the consolidation. This level right here has historical significance. I remember trading around 993 for like the merge rally and stuff. I remember people in the clinic like Philippe. Shout out Philippe if he's in the channel or if he's in the stream right now. But I remember him taking giga longs on this last year. This is a really strong level. 4 or 5 weeks of flipping this is really strong. Flipping the daily 100, daily 200 is really strong. Flipping the HFN is really strong. This is grindy, inefficient price action to the downside. If there's a catalyst on Atom right here, I could definitely see this being filled to 15. So this is a monster trade in the making if there's something to it, because this level of consolidation is really important. Seeing the demand every time this wicks below here and weekly closes above is really important. This just looks like another one of those OP and Arbitrum types trades, like Arbitrum OP, right? This looks like another one of those trades. So if there's a catalyst on the horizon for Atom, definitely could see market rotating into Atom and Atom ecosystem plays for sure. Check FET for compression, for example, a matter of time before it builds a new clean impulse. Ocean similar case if late November breakout is sustained after some distribute here for partials. Yeah. That is another coin that I have been fading I think it's just PTSD of not trading this well in Q1. I did a really poor job chopping myself in consolidations here and not taking good trades on FET. Yeah, I mean, weekly looks good. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, after, man, a lot of these coins did sweeps Thursday, huh? I feel shit for not taking many of these trades. Not even on my list and radar. Oh well, whatever. Looks decent. Looks decent. Why are we chopping it up here? This does look like consolidation towards fresh highs, though. Like, if the market doesn't shit the bed. Also interesting, is FET the stronger AI coin now? Because I swear in January, Ocean was the one that was supposed to be the end-all be-all AI coin. I remember they moved in tandem, but I think Ocean used to be the one that used to get the bid way stronger than FET. Is that still the case? They're both kind of in their same region of their January highs. I'm surprised these coins haven't made new highs relative to January yet. This is a lot of madness here. It traded so clean in January. Yeah, there's probably another move left in these coins to take out this high. Thanks, Crypto Trends. Bitcoin can consolidate and still have another round on mid and another round on mid. Yeah, for sure. BONK. All right, Jedi. We'll talk about BONK in the clinic. We won't take up stream time talking fundamentals. You think we get 2.6 on ETH after or before Christmas? Dude, I want it tomorrow. What are you talking about? I want it now. I want it now. I don't know when it's going to happen, dude. I just think it looks phenomenal. I would be buying every single dip on this. This looks so good. Like, I don't care what the market does. This market structure, the way this is set up, looks phenomenal. Even if you got a weekly puke into here, I'd be longing this. I can't give you a time frame on how long it's going to take because this is already taking longer than I imagined. But I do think that if it's not there by the ETF approval, if we don't already get there by ETF approval, you'll get it around ETF approval time. So that would make it January. So yeah, I know that's not a good answer, but that's the only answer I got. I talked about all these relationships between ETHBTC and ETH and Bitcoin and the ETF and stuff at the top of the stream. Adam is going through. Do not long Adam. If it moves, it's a local top. Yeah, historically speaking, that's very correct. Adam's going through major drama with the founders talking about it for. Oh yeah, I remember that. Adam is fucked up beyond. The Houston is strong. Thanks for doing these, Doc. See you on their side. Later, man. All right, RPL. Rocket Pool. This is like another LBO kind of coin, right? LSD. Okay. I mean, so yeah, just more consolidation necessary here, I think. Right, it looks good for everything in my system. Trading above the daily 100, daily 200, trading above the H4 100, 200. Let's see if it's flipping any VWAPs. This has no volume though, so who cares? This is like volume less. That's your major resistance. That's why we're struggling here. Acceptance above 32.6 really opens up doors, like really opens up doors, probably all the way like into this volume node to 46. I wouldn't fade a breakout if you do get it. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. All right, let's do 1 or 2 coins left, and then let's wrap up the stream there. I like to keep these around 2 hours. I think beyond that, people can't. Myself too. I can't keep my focus either. What is a VWAP indicator? It's from Paragon. It's Magus and Charlie's VWAP indicator. By the way, follow Magus and Charlie and join Paragon because they're awesome. But yeah, you have to join their group to get these indicators. I'm sure there's plenty that you could just make or get on here. It doesn't have to be theirs, I'm sure. BMAX, let's go, baby. Oh my God. Looks amazing. Looks amazing. This is one of the coins that I wish I traded perps on, but it was just way too choppy for me to hold perp positions on this. I'm happy with the spot. Probably would have gotten shaken out anyways on these dumps on perps. Adam passed a proposal to slash annual inflation from 14% to 10%. That's supposed to be bullish. I don't know if that's, yeah. All right, let's do Pendle. We'll wrap it up there. Oh my God, this is the last time I traded Pendle. It literally flipped that level and went up only. Did I capture this? Nope. Yeah, a lot of coins look like this. It's basically the same kind of play as Solana and INJ and Link and all these other coins that consolidated for a long time, had another leg up. Like you really just don't want to see this reaccepting back into this comp, which is where this H4 100 200 comes in handy. Basically, you want it to hold this value. You want this once again to be the launch pad for higher prices. Yeah, that it's really just that simple. Like hold above this value, wait for H4 100 200 to catch up. Look to trade like a range low sweep of the consolidation on lower time frames, if you can, right? That this already looks like a really strong sweep, but like in this area, and then take it back towards highs. That's really it. That's Pendle, and we're going to wrap up the stream there, boys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on Saturday. It's always a pleasure to do these things with you guys. I hope you learned something, and then thank you for bringing coins to my attention. Notably this week, which one was it? It was Blur. So I like the Blur setup. Then we talked about this. I'll look into this one as the days go by. It may or may not be strong, but we will see. I did like the setup on this one. Very easy, and it's kind of sitting down here. And NFTs may continue popping off for the next few weeks as perp liquidity calms down. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully one of these or two of these you guys get to catch with me. These are the coins that I talked about. Like I said, you know, if you missed the stream, check these ones out because these are the ones that I have the highest conviction in as far as current setups go. We'll take that one out of the list. But yeah, boys, take care.